predicting and tracking where Twitch chat are overall. I don't know roughly what percentage they would be at, but I do know that we have got ourselves into game number 1 in a very crucial match here for the Three Sins. Not only do they need to win this for the 100-point boost that you get between semifinals and quarterfinals, but we do want to see them doing it convincingly. If they can do that, then they'll go into their match against 11s as the favorites over on the side of eRa Eternity.
Oh dear.
So far, we have very much been on track, but they can derail us right now with a shot just kept out. A palming save. PJ needs to get there first. And a worrying sign here for the Three Sins.
Yeah, that was very bizarre. Just like 11s earlier on today, game 1 starts off for the favorites in the matchup with a completely unforced error. This time a whiff on an aerial that wasn't even being contested, and it didn't look intentional. Sometimes, you know, when a player goes up at this level for an aerial and realizes that there's no challenge, there's no opposing team player up for that ball at the same time, they do leave it just to let it bounce through to the defense of their own team, so that somebody can get a much better hit on the ball. But that ball was going sideways. I don't think that it was being left intentionally. So hopefully, for the Three Sins' sake, they're not going to be feeling too nervous today, because that did look like a pretty shaky start.
I think the last word that we would describe any of these South American players during their Worlds appearances is nervy.
True, yeah.
They've been pretty incredible at that stage, and I would definitely argue that that would be more nerve-inducing than this, but you never know, especially when that has typically been representing the region. Here is Matix, can play to the corner. I think he wants the 100 boost. Instead, he's managed to get this further than I think he was expecting. Very, I'm not going to say calm affair, because we are definitely pinning the ball from one side of the field to the other, and definitely in the final third. But the major opportunities have been lacking in our opening 2 minutes.
The one difference that we are seeing from the Three Sins, however, if we compare them to how 11s played game 1, is just look how far up their offensive line is. They're not waiting for their opponents to come to them. They are pressing them into that final third. They're going for boost steals. They're going for demos in the back corner. They're trying to get infield passes, even left someone up on the back wall there for an extended period of time. That is a significantly more aggressive style than what we saw from 11s earlier. They're trying to force the mistakes instead of waiting for them. But yeah, that's what we want to see from them. Like we were talking about just moments ago, confidence. They had plenty of that at the World Championships when they were the underdogs and when they play against European and American teams. And now they're the favorites, and they will look like the favorites. Just past halftime in the game, PJ with a phenomenal first touch and a bottom corner shot to match it.
And this is something that has had a lot of success, both for the Three Sins and 11s. Playing at a certain pace, playing the ball with hard hits whenever you get a hold of it, and then just taking that touch. Seeing the player go whistling past the head of your car. And then you can just play it in off the dribble. It has worked yet again. Setting the pace, changing it around. Matix looks to go on the hunt. Didn't quite take out Unbroken, and I don't think they're getting back for this one, as it's off the post and out. They have somehow managed to keep this at a 1-0 lead. Question will be, should they have done better with that on the offense?
Yeah, it was a little bit fortunate there for the Three Sins not to lose their lead immediately. But just like when they made the mistake earlier on in this game, where the whiff came in on an uncontested aerial, they have responded immediately with more offense. They're not panicking. They're not thinking, oh no, we're having a bad day here. I've just missed the ball. Right, everybody, let's calm down. Let's all play goalkeepers. Just take turns being the third man. No, they're just saying, it's fine. Let's just get right back to what we were doing before. Let's put the pressure on our opponents. That's what we do best. And that is what you want to see. You don't like to see a team completely losing confidence in their offense just because of one mistake. Mistakes are inevitable at this level. This is a very high-pressure situation, the biggest event of the biggest season in RLCS so far in the South American region. And, overall what I'm seeing from the Three Sins up till now would give me the confidence to predict them over 11s in the semis, should they make it in there.
Still only 1-goal lead. Might be 2 if wasn't kept out by Wells. I do love the point that you make there as well about just how important this tournament is. This is the tone setter for the season. This really is. You don't want to be going into the second part of the season, trailing, trying to figure out, okay, what's been going wrong for us? Have we got any more mistakes that were allowed? Not allowed to slip up. And you just get all of that extra pressure on you. A big performance today. Going on to win it all is worth so much, and that is a great save from Wells. Can they transition this into any form of offense? Unbroken flicks it past 2. He's only got Volts left. That's a monstrous challenge.
Oh,
might
wow.
even be on target.
Oh!
It is off Matix.
Well played, Matix making sure. And I love that. Just spots the ball on target. And whether it's a steal or a secure, oh, it's definitely a secure. What a double touch there. As he puts the ball in from very close range. And surely puts this game beyond all doubt. A very good response to an early mistake from the 3 Sins. You know, other teams should be taking notes when you make a big blunder early on, whether it's an aerial whiff or a double commit or an own goal, anything early in a game, which is just clearly out of place. The best way to respond to it is just to keep doing what you do best, not to think, okay, right, guys, we're playing terribly today. I've just whiffed an aerial. It's panic time. No, they've stuck to what they know. They've put the pressure on eRa Eternity, and this is just looking too one-sided for me to even give eRa a game here. They just look outclassed. They look outmatched in the speed, in the mechanics, and the 3 Sins, they've got the confidence. These guys are not messing around.
I think for the 3 Sins, right, the entire time that I have seen these players participate and compete, the answer to every problem that they've ever had is, we'll go faster then.
Yeah,
They
true.
whiff the ball, they're going to go faster. They scored an own goal, they're going to go faster. Their issue is that they've scored too much. We're just going to go faster anyway because we can. Very much a one-track mind, but it's something that you need. It's that very one focus. You just go in, you tunnel on trying to put as much pressure as you can on. And against a team that, as the desk mentioned, is as inexperienced as they are taking on. It's the right decision to make. Force them to answer all the questions. Force them to question everything about their play style. And right now, 3 Sins have played this perfectly in terms of strategy. Whether or not the mechanics can start stepping up to that level will be the other question to be had. Booming clear off the challenge, but PJ takes his time. And midfield belongs to the 3 Sins in this series. Unbroken just tries to go for the setup, but nobody on that side of the field.
Yeah, the eRa Eternity's response here needs to be quick. It needs to be every bit as confident as the 3 Sins were in that first game. We saw quite clearly earlier on that, in that first round match, even when 11s were not playing at their best, losing that first game as an underdog team, it puts you just in such a bad position. You don't have the same comeback potential that these top level teams do. So you need to just throw everything at them here. I don't think the game 2, when you've already lost game 1, I don't think that's a game that you can experiment with. I don't think it's a game you can just sit back with. You have to pressure, but oh my goodness, our 3 Sins popping off now. Vault with the redirect on his own pass, pretty much. He just chased this one down, and nobody can beat him to it. Perfect placement of the shot once again.
Vault continues to be devastating whenever he has got access to that ball. But eRa, they're trying to find something. They're almost shocked whenever they get a chance to put some offense on. Here's Matix to the far corner. Oh, looking at this, not only for scoreline, but in terms of performance. DJ back midfield. Vault maybe asking a bit much for himself here on that double tap from the ceiling. But Wells has moved so far up here. He's actually in a bad spot. And this is the same issue for eRa. They are getting half the clear done, and everyone moves forward, not realizing that the job's not done yet. You're still under pressure.
Oh, that was a bit messy. I mean, leaving the net open, like you say, that's not the best idea to be making when you've, only half cleared the ball. Not even half cleared. That ball wasn't really cleared at all. It was just being dribbled out of defense, and a 50-50 is about to go down. Now, when a 50-50 is about to happen in Rocket League, you need to have somebody thinking about how it could go wrong, because no matter how confident you are in your 50-50 game, it's called a 50-50 for a reason. There's always a chance that the other team, the other player, can get a big win on it, and you've got to be, in 3v3, leaving at least one player back, thinking a bit more defensively in the position. Now, that's a good save by Wells, but 3 Sins ramping up the pressure. They're still advancing that offensive line all the way up the field, and there's just no space for eRa Eternities to work with.
Yeah, I think if you are going to get into those positions as well, should have turned that in. A huge chance goes wasted for eRa Eternity. you are going to get into those positions for the 50-50s. I always feel like you just have, in a perfect world, you've got access to both players behind you. You need one optimist and one pessimist.
True.
One person is going to go for the best thing possible. One person is going to say, you know what, mate? You are terrible at those sort of challenges. I'm going to sit all the way back.
Shogun, that's why we're never going to work in a Rocket League team. You know, somebody will
We're all
go
the
in,
pessimists.
our teammate will go in for a 50-50 and we're both going to be the pessimist in the play. Nobody's going to be ready for anything good to happen. Oh, nice save there, Wells. Putting together quite a few good stops in defense. But like you mentioned earlier on, they had a good chance. They had another open net and it's gone wide. I think Wells just didn't have enough boost to get around it when the chance fell to him. Maybe a bit too pessimistic. They didn't believe in the center ball coming in. You know, we're talking about leaving one player back when a 50-50 is about to go down. Likewise, you've got to get one player moving forward. You've got to have somebody showing faith in the past. And it's difficult to have faith in the past when you're playing against the Three Sins. To be fair, they're a very, very good team and they're playing extremely aggressively. They're playing very consistently right now. Such a difficult team to get through. And look out, Unbroken. Matix with a pre-jump. Oh, dunks it in. 3-0, Three Sins, showing them exactly who's boss.
I feel like out of every player in the world, nobody has a better relationship with the woodwork than Matix. Every single time he goes to squeeze the ball in, he nails it. 3-0 to the Three Sins. And 11s, you know they'll be watching this. And they'll know that if this is the matchup they're going to have, they are going to have to step up massively.
Yeah, this is a message. You know, I said earlier on that all the other teams who are waiting to play in the quarterfinals are going to be looking at 11s and they're going to be licking their lips thinking, yes, give us 11s today. They don't look too scary compared to what we're used to seeing from them. Complete opposite is the case when we look at what the Three Sins are doing. You know, they've had a couple of mistakes. They've had a whiff in game 1. They've left their net open a couple of times between games 1 and 2. But they have not looked at all bothered by that. They are just getting the ball back into offense after any mistakes that they make or any big plays that they make. And they're making life incredibly difficult for eRa Eternity, who, you know, despite being predicted to lose this game, they're still one of the solid teams in this region. They're still one of the teams who are middle of the pack today. So for the Three Sins to be making them look so ordinary here, that's a statement. And, you know, if 11s are watching, I don't think they're going to be liking what they're seeing. They're probably going to be shaking in their boots or shaking in their wheels, I guess.
Wells wants to see if he can get at least something on the board here. Does not seem like it is going to be coming their way. And I can tell you one team that'll be very happy about this, as Wells does look for one more shot. It's not going to work out for them. And that is True Neutral. We are all expecting True Neutral to be making it through to that semifinals. But if they're looking right now at the Three Sins and saying, hey, Three Sins can take down 11s, that boosts both of the team's chances of catching them in the leaderboards and probably even overtaking them.
That's a good point. You know, all of the regional work that 11s have been putting in up until this point, getting to the top of that leaderboard, it can be undone just by one tournament here. The majors are worth double the points. And these points are so important. It's hard to realize right now just how important they are because the World Championship is so far away, or at least it seems so far away. We've got so many games, so many events on the road to that World Championship. But when we get to it, there's not going to be a 16-team South American representation. There's not going to be a 16-team representation from any region, as far as I'm aware, or as far as I can imagine, because the majors right now, had they been an international major, would have probably been a bit more exclusive, and getting to the very top of the leaderboard in the points. That's where all these teams want to be. That's where the Three Sins want to be, and it's where they're headed if they can keep playing like this.
Just relieves so much pressure when it comes to those regional events as well. And will be coming up very quickly. There's very little time to sort of turn yourself around here. This tournament is over. You get yourself ready to go yet again.
Shogun, you know how confident Matix is right now. He just paused for a minute. He was stealing the boost in eRa Eternity's half, right as his team were trying to counterattack on the other side of the field. And he paused before stealing the boost just so that it would be gone for longer. He thought, nah, you know what? I'm not going to steal it yet. I'm going to wait 3 seconds and then I'm going to steal it because now it's not going to respawn for that little bit longer. So no, if our attack lasts, 12 seconds, and they go for that boost, it's still going to not be there. That just shows you exactly how confident these guys are. They're leaving, their most aggressive player very, very far forward on the field, looking for demos, looking for boost steals, looking for the redirect plays. And that, shows a lot of faith in the other two players to hold it down in the midfield and the defense.
Into the point of play where they can spot things that they don't like, and, well, they're certainly going to like that. PJ puts them up. And with that goal, if eRa Eternity can't get one back, they will be perfect swept here in the quarterfinals.
A thunderous strike by PJ, to be sure. Once again, third man positioning for eRa Eternity a bit too far forward. There's another Wells play where he, had a tough save to make. This time he can't make it because he's, I think, had a bit too much faith. We're talking a lot about trust in your teammates here. And, it's an important aspect of competitive 3v3, but you always want to have backup in every position. And if you're the last man back and there's a 50-50 or what looks like a 50-50 about to go down, yeah, just give yourself the most chances possible. Get all the way back onto your goal line, or as near as you can get to it, because you never know when a player like PJ is going to smash the ball on target. Speaking of, that's good defense by PJ. Had to recover and scramble back onto the goal line there. The shot wasn't coming for eRa Eternity.
And it still seems to be the same thing from Matix. He does not believe in the pace, but he does believe he can get past two of them, which was entirely worthwhile putting your faith in. PJ looks for the tough angle. But Matix is just taking his time this game. He is not rushing it. He knows eRa are expecting the ball to be brought to them. Instead, just slows it down every single time across the face of goal. Can eRa at least just get themselves something here? You don't want your big regional. You've been looking forward to this all week long. You've been scrimming, you've been setting up. You don't want to be coming into this all excited to get a chance to try and show off and then get perfect swept. At least get yourselves a goal.
Yeah, they just want to try and get something. They've had chances. The performance from the Three Sins has not been perfect. They've left some openings that eRa Eternity have just simply failed to exploit. They've failed to capitalize on. And now the time is running out. This game is getting away from them. And like I said, this is just one event. It means a lot in the grand scheme of things, and we're looking forward to that World Championship next year. But the confidence that would just disappear if you fail to even score in this series. Yeah, that could be damaging for these teams as we move forward to the next split and look forward to even more Rocket League events. But yeah, no, it just looks like the Three Sins are draining it away from them as the time runs out. And as the confidence dwindles for eRa Eternity, Three Sins just look better and better. They're not hesitating on any ball. They're not hesitating on any play.
This is a good prolonged bit of pressure, and Wells has managed to block this 2 times. Just never the follow-up. They don't know where to go for the second half of these plays. They're expecting to lose the ball clean every single time, and every time that they have ended up getting confidence, they've been bit for it. And we've seen it with those third-man plays where they've just moved too far forward, and it ends up just being blasted over the top of them for a Three Sins goal. PJ off the backboard one more time. He has got a fantastic block. Out comes Matix. One more shot. It's saved by Wells. But they've got to make something of this. It's only a 1-goal lead. But a 1-goal lead in a series you haven't scored in. That is absolutely terrifying. It's something that they've got to try and overcome right here. And PJ again for that backboard. Second goal might finish it. They do keep the pressure away. A double commit as well is going to offer a chance to move out.
PJ had that as far as I could see. That was a great read. But the backboard defense holds strong for eRa Eternity. Oh, Matic. Not going to need the backboard in this play. What a reset. What a goal. And what a performance throughout the series. Matix with just the crazy plays we were expecting in the first series of the day. He's had them all.
Three Sins look great. Matix looks fantastic. And that should be it now. Will there at least be a consolation here for eRa Eternity? Or is the message that important to send here for the Three Sins? That they are the team that is going to go hunting down for the best team in the region. 11s, the gauntlet's been thrown down, lads. This is the team to try and fear. The Three Sins dominate and clean sweep their opponents. Should this ball hit the floor?
Do they?
Oh, they went for... The Three Sins take it.
Moments immediately before disaster. Almost another one for the casting reel there, Shogun, but not quite. Air Eternity just missed out on a goal there. I think Three Sins may have been trying to help them. Maybe they felt bad at the end of that. That they've just perfect swept Air Eternity. You know, like you said, Matic's outstanding performance by him. I think overall, he was, the whole team were functioning brilliantly. They were all getting involved. They were all rotating extremely well. They were all showing a lot of faith in each other for the offensive plays. That piled the pressure onto Era Eternity. But the individual mechanics from Matic's, you know, the pre-jump dunk in the last game and the flip reset solo play in this game, these are the sort of things we were hoping for and expecting to see from players like Drops and Card and Kaio in the previous series. Didn't really see an awful lot of that, but now Three Sins, they've outperformed 11s once again. They outperformed them in the Swiss last weekend. They've outperformed them in the quarterfinals, in the main event, in the playoffs. So now we just have to wait patiently and find out if they can keep that up going into the semis.
So before this series got started, we saw the Three Sins gather 87% of the vote, and apparently that wasn't convincing enough for them. They take down Era Eternity in a 3-0 perfect sweep, not a single goal against them. When we come back after break, we're going to listen to the desk, just talk about how good they are, because guess what? They really are that amazing right now. And we're going to have our third match of the quarterfinals as Noble Esports take down PDHM.